A review of the words we learned in the month of December. Anxiety. Anxiety means a feeling of unease, such as worry or fear, that can be mild or severe. In other words, it means an uneasy state of mind, usually over the possibility of an anticipated misfortune or trouble. How to use in sentences. 5 examples. First, she was devoured with anxiety. Second, he was waiting for his brother's return with anxiety. Third, she was distracted with anxiety. Fourth, you may feel worried and anxious about sitting an exam, or having a medical test or job interview. Fifth, Dorothy's anxiety about her brother's operation kept her awake all night. Atmosphere. Atmosphere means a special quality or impression associated with something or the pervading tone or mood of a place, situation, or creative work. In other words, it means the envelope of gases surrounding the Earth or another planet. How to use in sentences. 5 examples. First, we work best in a sympathetic atmosphere. Second, these gases pollute the atmosphere of towns and cities. Third, the hotel has won commendations for its friendly, welcoming atmosphere. Fourth, the spacecraft disintegrated as it entered the Earth's atmosphere. Fifth, the fireplace and cozy armchair gives the bookstore the atmosphere of a comfortable home. Awareness. Awareness means knowledge or perception of a situation or fact or a state of being aware. In other words, it means concern about and well-informed interest in a particular situation or development. How to use in sentences. 5 examples. First, we need to raise public awareness of the issue. Second, environmental awareness has increased over the years. Third, the campaign was designed to increase public awareness of the problem. Fourth, the author provides a clear definition of cultural awareness. Fifth, while strolling in the big city, maintain an awareness of what's going on around you. Cousin. Cousin means a child of one's uncle or aunt or a person connected with another by blood or marriage. In other words, it means a thing related or analogous to another. How to use in sentences. 5 examples. First, the house belonged to my cousin. Second, she's a distant cousin. Third, Mark boosted his cousin into a better job. Fourth, we both were surprised to learn that we are distant cousins. Fifth, the new motorbikes are not proving as popular as their four-wheel cousins. Dignity. Dignity means a high position within society, the state or quality of being worthy of honor or respect. In other words, it means a composed or serious manner or style. How to use in sentences. 5 examples. First, she behaved with great dignity. Second, he bowed with great dignity. Third, the archbishop is very conscious of his dignity. Fourth, they did nothing that was beneath the dignity of princes. Fifth, he thinks it is beneath his dignity to help around the house and watch the kids. Blaze. Blaze means a very large or fiercely burning fire, or burn fiercely or brightly. In other words, it is used in various sudden intense expressions of strong feeling like anger, bewilderment, or surprise as a euphemism for hell. How to use in sentences. 5 examples. First, huge blaze near World Cup fan village. Second, plumes of smoke rose from fires blazing around the city. Third, 20 firemen fought the blaze. Fourth, go to blazes, he shouted. Fifth, she felt a blaze of resentment upon hearing that she had been passed over for promotion. Accomplishment. Accomplishment means something that has been achieved successfully. In other words, it means an activity that a person can do well. How to use in sentences. 5 examples. First, every accomplishment starts with the decision to try. Second, the series of paintings is quite an accomplishment. Third, that was the greatest accomplishment of my life. Fourth, the reduction of inflation was a remarkable accomplishment. Fifth, it was a major accomplishment for a player who had been injured so recently. Plume. Plume means a long soft feather or arrangement of feathers used by a bird for display or worn by a person for ornament. In other words, it means a long cloud of smoke or vapor resembling a feather as it spreads from its point of origin. How to use in sentences. 5 examples. First, a black plume of smoke rose above the city. Second, he was wearing a hat with a jaunty ostrich plume. Third, the red plume on the horse's head was nodding to the rhythm of its steps. Fourth, the rising plume of black smoke could be seen all over Kabul. Fifth, after the explosion, a plume of smoke could be seen in the sky for miles around. Bewilderment. Bewilderment means a feeling of being perplexed and confused. In other words, it means a state of mental uncertainty. How to use in sentences. 5 examples. First, she gazed upon him in bewilderment. Second, the three of them looked at him in bewilderment. Third, Shiona frowned at the phone in total bewilderment. Fourth, he shook his head in bewilderment. Fifth, the slightest change in her daily routine leaves her in complete bewilderment. Perplexed. Perplexed means faced with difficulty or uncertainty about what to say, think, or do. In other words, it means completely baffled or very puzzled. How to use in sentences. 5 examples. First, she gave him a perplexed look. Second, the question perplexed me. Third, I am perplexed to know what to do. Fourth, the student looked at him, perplexed. Fifth, the convoluted instructions for calibrating a high-definition television will leave many consumers utterly perplexed. Shook. Shook is the past tense of shake. It means tremble or vibrate or move an object up and down or from side to side with rapid, forceful, jerky movements. How to use in sentences. 5 examples. First, he shook his head slowly. Second, she stood in the hall and shook her umbrella. Third, buildings shook in Dubai and tremors were felt in Abu Dhabi. Fourth, the bus rattled and shook as it barreled down a rutted road. Fifth, the explosion shook the foundations of the houses nearby. Aviation. Aviation means the flying or operating of aircraft. In other words, it means the activity of transporting people and goods by aircraft. How to use in sentences. 5 examples. First, pilots of large aircraft are masters of aviation. Second, the aviation world today is highly competitive. Third, the civil aviation minister ordered all the planes to be grounded. Fourth, the company's core operations include entertainment and aviation. Fifth, the major aviation companies need to cut prices if they are to compete with budget airlines. Aboriginal. Aboriginal means belonging to a particular place by birth or origin. In other words, it means a member of a race of people who were the first people to live in a country before any colonists arrived. How to use in sentences. 5 examples. First, he has lived among the Aboriginal inhabitants for a few years. Second, they managed to wipe out the entire Aboriginal population. Third, this is aimed at protecting the Aboriginal sites on the Franklin. Fourth, Aboriginal Olympic runner Kathy Freeman has spoken out on the issue. Fifth, the Aboriginal peoples of northern Alaska are known as Inupiats, which in their language literally means real people. Cascading. Cascading means a small waterfall, typically one of several that fall in stages down a steep rocky slope. In other words, it means pass something onto a succession of others or arrange a number of devices or objects in a series or sequence. How to use in sentences. 5 examples. First, water was cascading down the stairs. Second, it was cascading rain and freezing cold. Third, her hair was arranged in a cascading of curls. Fourth, she could see waterfalls cascading down some of the mountainsides and in the distance a lake. Fifth, ensure effective cascading of the functional strategy into department business plans. Astronomy. Astronomy means the branch of science that deals with celestial objects, space, and the physical universe as a whole. In other words, it means the study of objects and matter outside the Earth's atmosphere and of their physical and chemical properties. How to use in sentences. 5 examples. First, I've always had an interest in astronomy. Second, physics and astronomy are cognate sciences. Third, mathematics is connected with astronomy. Fourth, it was a shooting star that propelled me into astronomy in the first place. Fifth, the project is expected to represent a giant leap forward in astronomy. Belongings. Belongings means a person's movable possessions or transportable items that one owns. How to use in sentences. 5 examples. First, all his belongings were burnt in the fire. Second, she collected up her personal belongings and left. Third, their most valuable belongings were locked in a safe in the bedroom. Fourth, packed up all their belongings and moved across the country. Fifth, she didn't have much baggage with her as most of her belongings had been sent ahead by sea. Euphemism. Euphemism means a mild or pleasant word group of words that is used instead of one that is unpleasant or offensive. In other words, it means a mild or indirect word or expression substituted for one considered to be too harsh or blunt when referring to something unpleasant or embarrassing. How to use in sentences. 5 examples. First, senior citizen is a euphemism for old person. Second, the jargon has given us downsizing as a euphemism for cuts. Third, this is not just a liberal euphemism for the city's ethnic diversity. Fourth, she spoke in euphemisms when recounting the expletive-laden tirade. Fifth, the article made so much use of euphemism that often its meaning was unclear. Plethora. Plethora means a large or excessive amount of something. In other words, it means an amount or supply more than sufficient to meet one's needs. How to use in sentences. 5 examples. First, there's a plethora of books about the royal family. Second, the report contained a plethora of detail. Third, a plethora of new operators will be allowed to enter the market. Fourth, set up a plethora of new commissions and executive agencies. Fifth, a biology textbook that is helpfully illustrated with a plethora of excellent illustrations. Heralded. Heralded is the past tense of herald. It means to give a slight indication of beforehand. How to use in sentences. 5 examples. First, flashing blue lights heralded the arrival of the police. Second, this invention heralded the age of the computer. Third, the report is being heralded as a blueprint for the future of transport. Fourth, X Homes heralded a new era in the world real estate market in November 2013. Fifth, when it opened, the hospital was heralded as a new way forward in nursing care. Empathetic. Empathetic means having or showing the capacity for sharing the feelings of another. In other words, it means showing an ability to understand and share the feelings of another. How to use in sentences. 5 examples. First, she's compassionate and empathetic towards her daughter. Second, they may be quite empathetic. Third, even being empathetic can lead you astray if you let it cloud your judgment. Fourth, camp nurses must be empathetic and often need to console unhappy or ill campers. Fifth, an empathetic social worker who soon realized that the single mother was at her breaking point. Blueprint. Blueprint means a method worked out in advance for achieving some objective. In other words, it means a complete plan that explains how to do or develop something. How to use in sentences. 5 examples. First, the government does not have a blueprint for reform. Second, the report is being heralded as a blueprint for the future of transport. Third, the report provided a blueprint for relieving the county's crowded jail facilities. Fourth, the country's president will offer delegates his blueprint for the country's future. Fifth, an ambitious young man with a remarkably detailed blueprint for becoming a millionaire by the age of 25. Gigantic. Gigantic means unusually large or very great size or extent huge. How to use in sentences. 5 examples. First, that building is gigantic. Second, the cost has been gigantic. Third, the whole thing is just a gigantic illusion. Fourth, huge files download in a few seconds and gigantic files in a couple of minutes. Fifth, he was of gigantic strength, which he maintained by constant physical exercises. Dearth. Dearth means a scarcity or lack of something. In other words, it means a falling short of an essential or desirable amount or number. How to use in sentences. 5 examples. First, there is a dearth of good children's plays. Second, there was a dearth of pens that day in class. Third, many soldiers died because of dearth of food. Fourth, there was a dearth of usable firewood at the campsite. Fifth, in contrast, there is still a considerable dearth of knowledge on the post-therapeutic course of gastric ulcer disease. Veteran. Veteran means a person who has had long experience in a particular field. How to use in sentences. 5 examples. First, he was a veteran of the big screen. Second, we often ask the veteran workers for advice. Third, she's also a veteran campaigner for human rights. Fourth, my grandfather is a veteran of the Second World War. Fifth, as a veteran of overseas travel, she gave us solid advice about planning our trip. Endeavouring. Endeavouring means try hard to do or achieve something. In other words, it means to devote serious and sustained effort. How to use in sentences. 5 examples. First, he is endeavoring to help the third world. Second, this college is endeavoring to reach own goal. Third, They are endeavoring to protect labor union rights. Fourth, they are endeavoring to reproduce the social conditions of pre-war days. Fifth, Eric has been endeavoring to study audiology because his dream is to be an audiologist. Staycation. Staycation means a holiday spent in one's home country rather than abroad, or one spent at home and involving day trips to local attractions. How to use in sentences. 5 examples. First, we have been busy sourcing the best spots to staycation this summer. Second, my parents went on staycation, and all I got was this lousy t-shirt. Third, if you are tight on funds, consider taking a staycation and visiting a local water park, zoo or children's museum. Fourth, however, planning a staycation, or simply picking up some great deals at local retailers and restaurants is possible when using Groupon. Fifth, if you have a staycation, plan what you'll eat for the whole week and then make a list and stick to it. Envision. Envision means to picture to oneself or imagine as a future possibility or visualize. How to use in sentences. 5 examples. First, in the future we envision a federation of companies. Second, now close your eyes and simply envision color. Third, they didn't envision any problems with the new building. Fourth, they envision an equal society, free of poverty and disease. Fifth, she envisioned the admiring glances of the guests seeing her home. Consonance. Consonance means a balanced, pleasing, or suitable arrangement of parts. In other words, it means agreement or compatibility between opinions or actions. How to use in sentences. 5 examples. First, the word of God is in consonance with evidence. Second, the consonance of intervals is also dissipated by distance. Third, these results are in consonance with humans' experiences. Fourth, consonance between conservation measures and existing agricultural practice. Fifth, at present, the living room lacks consonance because all of the furniture is on one side. Preceding. Preceding means going or coming before something or another in order, position, or time. How to use in sentences. 5 examples. First, it had happened during the preceding year. Second, the author anticipated the question in a preceding chapter. Third, repeat the exercises described in the preceding section. Fourth, industrial orders had already fallen in the preceding months. Fifth, this point has been dealt with in the preceding paragraph. Immovable. Immovable means incapable of moving or being moved. How to use in sentences. 5 examples. First, that boulder is immovable, even with a bulldozer. Second, father was immovable in his opinions. Third, the president is immovable on this issue. Fourth, he possesses a lot of immovable real property. Fifth, lock your bike to something immovable like a railing or a lamppost. Leasehold. Leasehold means the holding of property by lease. How to use in sentences. 5 examples. First, leasehold reform to give new rights to owners of flats. Second, the additional property information form is appropriate for leasehold property. Third, the present leasehold system affects an estimated 3 million owners. Fourth, however, it is necessary to produce receipts when dealing with leasehold property. Fifth, people owning leasehold homes will be given a new right to buy the freehold of their property. Improve your vocabulary daily. Join with us. Subscribe us to learn an English word daily.
SpeakyTalky.